Sister Wives Kody Brown sets Robyn rule if other kids come back. Sister Wives star Kody Brown likes when his family falls in line. When his kids were younger, his word was law. If he said it, they were expected to follow. However, he's admitted as his kids got older it was much more difficult to raise them. But in the latest episode, he falls back on his pattern by setting a Robyn rule for his other kids to follow if they choose to come back. Kody Brown struggles with his estranged relationships. Undoubtedly, Sister Wives patriarch Kody Brown is harboring the pain of rejection from his estranged kids. Seemingly, he feels FOMO, shut out, and even ignored. Earlier in season 19, Robyn was distraught that Kody could give up so easily on his kids. Seemingly, she was pleading with Kody to reach out, camp out, and do anything necessary to repair relationships. In the latest episode, Maddie Brown Brush was brought to tears in the lead-up to Cristin Brown Woolley and David Woolley's wedding. Amid Maddie feuding with Kody, she admits she loves David. Robyn was attempting to persuade Kody to reconnect with children such as Maddie Brown Brush, Gabe, and Garrison Brown, to name a few. They had struggled with their dad and his treatment of their mom and family rules. However, Kody dug his heels in and asserted, "Robyn, I'll make the effort. I spent a year here just lamenting the situation." Further adding, "When I get over that, those children who are open to me will get my attention." But as Gay extends an invitation to his kids to come back, he attaches more rules to the already touchy situation. During the January 12 episode of Sister Wives, Kody Brown offered a new rule about Robyn upon his kids' return. He speaks about his new life with Robyn and her kids. He says, "It's a real different world, the world that I have with Robyn and our children." Admittedly, his life feels different now. He says, "It's kind, it's pleasant, it's beautiful. It's small, I got to admit this." Even with his newfound peace, he wasn't completely content. He adds, "I think I need a lot of attention. It's been different to be in a place where I don't get as much attention." Although Kody Brown is welcoming his estranged kids back, he has some strict stipulations on their return. He said, "But my children will always be my children and the door will always be open to them." One of the main catches is, they've got to come through that door. Since he is open to their reconciliation, Kody describes, "I'm going to be holding a hand out for that." However, he makes it clear where his loyalties lie. He shows himself with Robyn, adding, "But I'm going to be holding this hand that's next to me, and I won't let go of that hand." Making sure there's no question, he reiterates, "I will not cut off Robyn to have a relationship with my children." However, the kids don't seem to be asking him to exclude Robyn. Kody Brown make it about him and Robyn. While Sister Wives has shown that Kody Brown believes the reason the kids aren't running back to him is because of his shy and pretty wife, there seem to be other factors. When Janelle Brown chose her kids and her dogs, it wasn't just about Robyn. It was about how Kody was acting. Although some of the issues were because he was showing favoritism, many of the problems stemmed from him not taking ownership of his actions. Most of the kids need consistency from Kody putting in the work to repair the relationships. Seemingly, he turns the problems around and points the finger at others. Who caves first? However, Kody Brown expressed his heartbreak, yet he is easily deterred. After his kids didn't call back, Kody decided it was their responsibility to make an effort at that point. He said, "Some people think that parental-child relationships shouldn't have to be reciprocal, but when they're adults, yeah, they do." In response to Robyn's nudge to reconcile, he added, "I'm not going to reach out forever. I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that and make some effort too." Finding her suggestion absurd, he added, "I'm not going to camp out on somebody's doorstep." Recently, Maddie Brown Brush discussed how Kody's rules are often the true reason for his kids backing off. In her old podcast, The Authentic Society, she said, "Kody doesn't have any respect for boundaries, and you have to play by his rules, and I just don't care to do that." Kody Brown, the once proud patriarch of the Brown family, leaned back in his leather recliner, the weight of years of fractured relationships evident in the deep lines etched across his face. The dim lighting in Robyn's meticulously decorated living room cast long shadows, amplifying the tension in the air. For years, the family dynamic had been shifting, but tonight, Kody was determined to lay down the law, at least as far as Robyn was concerned. "I've been thinking," Kody began, his voice carrying the gravitas he reserved for moments he deemed important. Robyn sat across from him, her hands nervously twisting a bracelet adorned with charms representing each of her children. If any of the other kids want to come back into the fold, we need to establish boundaries. For your sake, for our sake. Robyn's eyes widened, but she quickly masked her surprise. Boundaries? She repeated carefully, as though tasting the word. Kody nodded. Yes, it's not fair to you or the kids to have them waltzing back in without understanding how things work here now. This family has changed, Robyn. We've built something stable, and I won't let anyone disrupt that. It wasn't lost on Robyn that by anyone, Kody meant his older children from his marriages with Meri, Janelle, and Cristin. The past few years had been a whirlwind of departures, confrontations, and heartbreak. Cristin had left first, her declaration of independence shaking the very foundation of the Brown family. Janelle had followed, unwilling to endure Kody's favoritism toward Robyn any longer. Even Meri, loyal to a fault, had finally walked away after years of neglect. And yet, here he was, crafting a Robyn rule for the very children he had once dismissed. What kind of boundaries are we talking about? Robyn asked, though she already had an inkling. Kody's need for control had only grown stronger as his family had grown smaller. First off, Kody said, leaning forward, no one comes back without a conversation with both of us. It's not just my decision, it's ours. They need to understand that you're my wife and this is your home. If they can't respect that, they're not welcome. Robyn's lips pressed into a thin line. She wasn't sure how she felt about being positioned as a gatekeeper, but she also couldn't deny the appeal of having Kody's unwavering support. And second, Kody continued, they need to contribute. Whether it's financially, emotionally, or otherwise, they can't just show up expecting handouts or emotional labor. We've worked hard to rebuild after everything fell apart. They need to prove they're here for the right reasons. The words hung in the air, heavy with implication. Kody's older children had often accused him of neglect, of prioritizing Robyn and her children over them. Would they even want to come back under these conditions? Robyn hesitated. Kody, don't you think that might push them further away? Kody's jaw tightened. If they're serious about being part of this family, they'll respect the rules. If not, maybe it's better that they stay away. Robyn's mind drifted to the last time she had seen Janelle's sons, Garrison and Gabriel. Their anger toward Kody had been palpable, their hurt etched into their faces. Would they ever be willing to sit down and have a conversation, let alone abide by Kody's rules? The silence between them was interrupted by the soft patter of footsteps. Aurora, one of Robyn's daughters, appeared in the doorway, her brow furrowed in curiosity. Is everything okay? She asked, glancing between her mother and Kody. Kody's expression softened immediately. Everything's fine, sweetheart. We're just talking about family stuff. Aurora nodded, though she didn't look entirely convinced. Okay, good night. As she disappeared down the hall, Robyn turned back to Kody. You know they're going to see this as another example of you choosing me over them, she said quietly. Kody's eyes flashed with frustration. That's not what this is about. It's about protecting what we have. I won't let them, or anyone, tear us apart. The conversation left Robyn feeling uneasy. In theory, she appreciated Kody's desire to shield their family from further drama. But in practice, his approach felt more like a fortress than a bridge. The next morning, Kody called a family meeting via video chat. Though many of his older children declined to participate, a few logged on, their expressions guarded. Janelle and Cristin were notably absent, but Meri joined, her face unreadable. Thank you all for being here, Kody began, his tone formal. I wanted to have an honest conversation about what it would look like if any of you decided to reconnect with the family. Garrison's face appeared on the screen, his expression a mix of disbelief and irritation. Reconnect? Seriously? You mean after you ignored us for years?